What's up, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video. In today's video, I want to be going through the increase in the NFL salary cap for the 2024 season and how that has a massive impact for the New York Jets and really every team. But here on this channel, we talk about the New York Jets. So this massive change and this massive increase in the salary cap is only going to help teams like the New York Jets. In 2023, the NFL salary cap was $224.8 million, and going into the 2024 season, some were projecting the salary cap somewhere to be in the low 240s. There was going to be an increase, but some expected it to be around a $20 million increase. Well, instead, we get a $31 million increase up to $255.4 million, the highest single season increase in the history since the salary cap's been implemented. First, we have to talk about the Jets' amount of salary cap space that they have currently with this change without doing any sort of restructures or cuts or anything like that. So the Jets are now projected to have $15 million in cap space. Clearly, that does not sound like a lot when you consider that the Jets need to be fixing the offensive line and adding to the wide receiver room. But with some simple restructures and cuts that seem fairly obvious, the Jets could get that number up pretty high. Not the highest in the NFL, but to a point where you could absolutely be working with it. We'll start with restructures. The first three names that really jump out, easy restructure candidates, are CJ Mosley, John Franklin Myers, and DJ Reed. If you restructure three of those three guys, that adds an additional $26.7 million in cap space, getting your number up to 41.7. Then if you want to work in some cut candidates, Laken Tomlinson and CJ Uzomah, two bigger names who could be cut. Maybe they restructure Laken. CJ seems like an obvious cut candidate, but Laken Tomlinson could free up $8 million if you decide to move on from him, which I would highly consider doing. If you do both of those things, that gets you up to $55.1 million in cap space. And then if you want to get even more on top of that, you could theoretically restructure Allen Lazard. If that's something they want to do, that would get them up to 61.8. So again, they have wiggle room here. They can get themselves up to pretty easily 55.1, or even if you want to restructure Allen Lazard, you can do that too and get yourself to 61.8. With that amount of cap space, there's really zero excuse not to keep someone like Bryce Huff. And I know we keep going back to that, but it's really an important one. And I keep getting pushback saying that the Jets, they need to spend on the offensive side of the ball. And I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. But in my opinion, with that much cap space, potentially almost $62 million in cap space, you should be able to improve significantly your offensive line and wide receiver room while also retaining your homegrown talent in Bryce Huff. And how you can structure these contracts, again, most contracts in today's NFL are backloaded so that it's really like, if it's a 4-year deal, let's say, most of the money is put further back, and then you can get out of it after 2 years. We know some bigger name guys like T. Higgins are going to get the franchise tag from the Cincinnati Bengals, but again, there's going to be an opportunity here for the Jets to probably add 1 to 2 free agents on the offensive line, add another 1 to 2 at the wide receiver room, and then at that point still have money for backup quarterback. And there's ways to make this work, and it's obviously a big help that the salary cap has dramatically increased this year, and it was higher than what the projections were. The Jets weren't projected to have $15 million in cap space. It was closer to that $5 million mark that I just said right there. It wasn't supposed to be a lot. Now it's at $15 million before they do anything, and again, no one goes into free agency or no one goes into the offseason without doing any sort of cuts or restructures or things like that. 15 could easily turn into 61.8 pretty quickly. And I think it'd be wise for the New York Jets to do that, especially when you consider that this is a year where they're going for it. Aaron Rodgers back healthy, the coaching staff under a lot of fire, the front office under a lot of fire. They need to make it work. So let me know in the comments what you would like to see the Jets do in free agency now that they have this additional cap space. Again, for me, I think it's adding backup quarterback, at least one wide receiver, a couple offensive linemen, and retaining their own in Bryce Huff. But I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you guys next time.